Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. Senator, great to have you with us this morning. Let's start with RFK Jr. He was originally set to face that vote at 7 this morning. That's a little early. It was delayed. But what are you expecting this morning? I know you're a physician. What are you hoping to see from him as secretary with the promise to make America healthy again?
Well, Bobby Kennedy Jr. is a disruptor. He's totally locked in on making America healthy again. That's going to be his priorities, to address this chronic disease epidemic that we have. 60% of Americans have a chronic disease. When I was growing up, it was 6%. 20% of our youth are on a prescription drug right now. 40% of our adolescents are morbidly obese or pre-diabetic. So I think that we're going to figure out the whys and the how comes. We think we can unlock that through nutrition, through decreasing the toxins we're exposed to. And yes, we're going to keep finding new cures for Alzheimer's and cancer and all those things, but we think a lot of this can be prevented, and I can't wait to get to work with them.
Yeah, Senator, so in addition to working on the RFK nomination, you'll also hear from Secretary of Education nominee Linda McMahon today. The president's been very clear. He wants her to put herself out of a job. Take a listen.
I told Linda, I hope you do a great job and put yourself out of a job. I want her to put herself out of a job, education department. So we're ranked number 40 out of 40 schools, right? We're ranked number 1 in cost per pupil. So we spend more per pupil than any other country in the world, and we're ranked at the bottom of the list. What I want to do is let the states run schools. I believe strongly in school choice, but in addition to that, I want the states to run schools, and I want Linda to put herself out of a job.
All right, there you have it. What do you expect to hear from Linda today, Senator?
Well, I had the pleasure of working with Linda McMahon on the House side when she was the small business administrator. She's one of the most impressive people I've ever met in my lifetime. Look, Linda is going to wrestle with the swamp. She's going to be a champion for school choice, for apprenticeship. She's going to be a champion for letting parents, local communities control their education. That's her whole goal, her whole job. That's what she's got in mind. She's going to be just be an incredible Secretary of Education. And yeah, we want less federal government. We want to roll back those regulations. And again, just empower those local communities. That's what you're going to hear from her today. You're going to hear about this plan, about how she shrinks this Department of Education.
Senator, I do want to pivot to budget. I know the Senate has advanced the budget reconciliation and will now take it to the floor. So there's been a lot of back and forth over whether we'd see the one big beautiful bill or split it into two. So where are talks now? What comes next?
Look, we're cheering for the House. We hope they get one big, beautiful bill done in time, way before the March 15th deadline of when the government's funding in. There's kind of 3 balls up in the air, and that's 2 of them. The third one, of course, is the debt limit as well. So I think they're making some progress. We're going down 2 parallel roads at the same time. What we did yesterday in Budget Committee is unlock the door to fund President Trump's priorities. So we've unlocked the door so that we can fund border security. We can make the military great again. We're going to set American energy free, and we're going to bring some common sense back to the budget as well. We're going to restore fiscal sanity when we've lowered the spending of the federal government from $7 trillion a year to 6.1. So that's what I'm most excited about, is bringing back that fiscal sanity.
Now, part of that blueprint, Senator, to my understanding, would basically unlock about $4.5 trillion or so in tax cuts and make that available either through tax cuts or spending cuts. There's some think you can't get what you need with just that number. What do you think about that?
Well, you're right. What happens is if we let these Trump tax cuts not continue, the average American family is going to lose $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month is what this means to American families. So our goal is to make those Trump tax cuts permanent. We're not going to accept anything less. And yeah, there's other things we can do as well. Maybe we'll stop taxes on Social Security, stop taxes on tips, stop taxes on overtime wages as well. I think there's a plethora of opportunity. And again, I think combining that with what DOGE is doing to decrease fraud, waste, abuse, and incompetence, we can balance the budget. I think that's our goal. That's our big picture goal, is how do we get to a balanced budget? People say we can't do it, but I think we can do it in 4 years.
We just have about 20 seconds left, but I do want to ask you this. Your state's governor, Laura Kelly, she just vetoed a bill that would have banned, quote, gender-affirming care for minors. What do you make of this?
Wow, I can't believe that she did that. This is not an 80-20 issue back home. This is a 95-5. Based upon our polling, 95% of Kansans do not support this transgender agenda. Look, I'm a physician and OBGYN. These surgeries are horrendous. They're irreversible. They're painful. Usually it's 3 or 4 surgeries, and my fear is that these people will have chronic pain and scar tissue from these the rest of their lives. The hormones that they give, many of those are irreversible. They cause infertility as well. This is horrible. You know, we don't let 14-year-olds get tattoos. We don't let 16-year-olds smoke tobacco, but we're going to let them do this irreversible surgery. Look, these young ladies and men have a problem, you know, and I'm concerned for them. My heart bleeds for them. It's some type of a mental health challenge, and I want to love them. I want to support them. But an irreversible surgery, an irreversible medication, they're not old enough to make those decisions, and doctors should not be doing this. I think it's child abuse is what I think it is.
All right. Senator Roger Marshall, always great talking with you and having you on. Thank you.